Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be trying a puzzle by a constructor who has been making such impressive waves in the Sudoku world of late. This is Arbitrary's puzzle Traces. And if you look on Logic Masters Germany at sort of the last page of puzzles constructed by Arbitrary, they all have sort of 95% plus approval ratings. Just incredible consistency. At the very, very top end. And I snipped some of the comments on this one, so let's take a quick look at those. Basically you can see everyone's just saying it's amazing. So, including Toolcat there. I mean, even if I solve this incredibly well, Toolcat will say that I didn't. But Toolcat, a very fine constructor, of course, and solver, and judge of puzzles. If not a man with an impeccable memory. Just kidding, Toolcat. Anyway, we're going to have a go at Traces. I'll read you the rules of this one in a moment or two's time. Now, what did I need to tell you today? There were a few things. Oh yes, you did seem to approve of my thought that we might have a go at Braid. So have I got a... I do. There we go. There's a... Oh, it's probably a bit big. But this is... I don't know when. I'm trying to get Mark to agree a day. But soon we are going to have a go at a game called Braid. And it looks great. It looks like a platform game, though, which might require dexterity. And who knows where that will lead us, probably to madness. But I'm looking forward to trying that. We're going to be streaming it soon. As soon as I know, I'll probably tweet about it, but I'll also mention it in a video, of course. Other than that, actually, when I just did that, I did see something I could tease a little bit. I could tease this a little bit. I'm not probably supposed to say too much about this, but this is something that's coming up for our patrons over on Patreon very soon. Very soon. Anyway, that's another story. What else do I want to do? I want to do some birthdays and announcements. So let me say a very happy birthday to Kirsten over there in California, who turns the big 50 tomorrow. Kirsten says that she's watched every day since the original Miracle Sudoku, and what's more, and somewhat ludicrously, has claimed that she would talk to me if we were both at the same party. Now, that is extremely benevolent of you, Kirsten, and I doubt many people will believe it, but thank you for saying it, and I hope you have a brilliant birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's your birthday tomorrow, isn't it? With, of course, chocolate cake. Next, Rose, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your wife B wrote to us and told us that you love the channel, and thank you for enjoying it, and I hope that you have a great birthday with cake, of course. Next, Zach has turned 20 today over there in Colorado, and I know this because your friend Benny wrote to us and said that you are currently training to become an overseer in Rubik's Cube speed solving competitions. Well, that is a thing. I actually have watched some Rubik's Cube speed solving competitions on YouTube. I really enjoy watching them. Anyway, the other thing I can tell you, Zach, which you'll be pleased about, I think, is that Benny has promised you a most excellent chocolate cake when the two of you next meet up. So, Zach, good luck with your training, and good luck with the cake as well. Quick shout out before I get back to birthdays to Itrio and Aaron for their REM Losing My Religion karaoke video that they sent me, in which Itrio, many of you will know Itrio, absolutely brilliant constructor. I can tell you Itrio can sing as well, and so can Aaron. And when they were doing karaoke, they did a version with That's Three in the Corner, which I fully approve. So thank you for sending me that. That definitely raised a chuckle, and I was quite jealous of both of your voices. Next, David, it's your birthday, and I know this because your friend Nola wrote to us. And Nola said that you find the Fistamafel ring a bit fishy, no matter how many times it's explained. I love that. I can understand it as well. But David, happy birthday. Next, Harvey. Harvey, I know it's your birthday because Kathy wrote to us. And also your two boys, Samuel and David, wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. And I am delighted to hear you've been encouraging the family to do puzzles. So thank you for doing that. And Harvey, have a great birthday today. And then Wesley, your family wrote and said that you were turning 39 today. And and that you sometimes fall asleep deliberately during videos in order that you can learn additional tricks while you're asleep. I hope it works. I know you're a wonderful dad to your 2-year-old son as well. So Wesley, many happy returns, and I hope you have a great day today. Now, that's all the news, I think. Just checking my list. I don't think there's anything else. Let's have a look at traces and see what Arbitrary has in store for us. These are the rules of the puzzle. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Box borders divide blue lines into sections of equal sum. Different lines may have different region sums. So what does that mean? Let's look at this line here. So what it means is, so you can see that this line, this section here, is from the start of the line till where it hits its first box border, which is here, when it crosses from box 2 into box 1. Those two cells, and those two cells, that I've divided the line there by box border. And all we're being told is that whatever the sum of the green section is, it's the same as the sum of the yellow section, it's the same as the sum of the red section. So we can do that for all of these lines, but they might not have. So say this one summed to 15 might not work, but say it did sum to 15, then it's not necessary then for this one to sum to 15. So let's do this one and make sure that we, oh, that's a news flash, sorry. I have news flashes turned on my phone. Apparently there's going to be a general election. Let's do this one as well. So all of these colours here, this is a great line actually. So every different colour there must contain digits summing to the same sum. That is how region sum lines work. They are very cool things indeed. And then the only other rule is that digits in small circles must appear in at least one of the surrounding cells. Well, there we're being told there's a 1 in one of those cells, there's a 9 in one of those, there's a 3 in one of those, and there's a 1 in one of those. That's literally it. That's all. That's the entirety of the role of the quadruple clues. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I am going to do it. I'm going to put the 1s into those squares. I'm not going to do the same thing there, because by putting the 1 in the corner here, I'm saying that I'm doing box logic. So I'm saying within box 3, the 1 is in one of 4 places. If I was to put 9 around those, that logic doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't apply specifically to box 3, box 2, box 5 or box 6. It would just confuse me, so I'm not going to do that. Same thing there. I'm not going to put a 3 in one of those. I'm just going to rely on my optical ability to keep track of that. Now, I can see this is a very standard technique with region sum lines. The best thing you can do with a region sum line is to try and find segments of the line that are very different in their length. And here we've got a one segment there versus a 3 segment there. Now the minimum I could make those 3 digits would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. And if these were 1, 2 and 3, they would add up to 6. So this square cannot be less than 6. So that's got to be 6, 7, 8 or 9. Same is true there. It would be if I could punch the numbers in correctly. Now the slightly terrifying thing here, I might be wrong about this, but looking at all the other region sum lines, I think that they all have very, very evenly lengthed segments, or like-mindedly lengthed segments. That's quite a hard thing to say. You know, if you look at this shape here, that's 2, that's 2, that's 2, that's 2, and that's 2. Which is probably telling me something. Yeah, okay, no, that is actually telling me something. I can do something with that. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is probably where we're meant to look now. So what I'm noticing here, okay, the question I think we have to ask here, let me just highlight this line in a few different colours so that we can think about it with, right, so I've highlighted these cells. I'm not going to highlight this yet because this is sort of extraneous to the point I want to make. Now, I think what the idea of this line is to say, how many different ways do there need to be of making whatever the total is on this line within a domino, within a Sudoku domino? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's imagine, just for a moment, that these two cells, these two green cells, added up to 13. Is that possible? And the answer is no, because there would need to be, as well as this way of making 13 in 2 digits, there would need to be 3 other ways of doing it. And we get, so for example, let me show you. If that was 4, 9, how could we constitute this 13? This would also need to sum to 13. Well, that could be 5, 8, that's fine. One of these could be 6, 7, that would be fine. But what would the last one be? There would be no way to make it up, because we've used all of our different ways of making 13 in a domino. So I think what we're being told here actually is quite profound. The shape of this is telling us that there must be at least 4 different ways of making up the total of whatever these colours add up to. Now the lowest therefore we could go to is 9. Because if we used 8, if the sum of these 2 digits was 8, there are only 3 different ways of making 8 with different Sudoku digits, 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5. So that's not going to work. But there are 4 different ways of making 9, because there's 4, 5, 3, 6, 2, 7, and 1, 8. So 9 is possible, 10 is possible, 4, 6, 3, 7, 2, 8, 1, 9. 11 is very possible, 5, 6, 4, 7, 3, 8, 2, 9. And 12 then returns to being impossible again. 3, 9, 4, 8, 5, 7, and double 6 won't work because of Sudoku. So, okay, so this little line here is either a 9, well, the segments on it are either 9, 10, or, oh, they're not, okay, so that's what this 1 is doing. It's saying it's not 11, because if it was 11, wherever the 1 goes in that little congregation of digits, it would have to have a 10 with it. So it's either 9 or 10. Now, how are we going to work out which of those it is? Yeah, sorry, and I'm getting distracted here because I've noticed this line is has a similar property. Yeah, it's actually this part of the line, isn't it, that does it? And that line, that's the same as that constitutes or congregation of digits. Look, if we do this, I'm going to run out. Now, if I could use blue. Right. So if we do that there, each one of those colours has to sum to a different number, and again it's the same point. There has to be 4 different ways to make it work. So this is also 9, 10, or 11, and it's and this is also not 11 for the same reason. So this is 9 or 10, this is 9 or 10, and what we might find is that these both have the same sum, and then we're going to have to restore. We'll only need 1 set of colours. Okay, I can't see immediately how I'm meant to know what's what here. Is it to do with the 9 in one of those squares? Obviously, if the 9 is in any of these 3 squares, if the 9 is in any of those, then this line adds up to 10. So only if this is a 9. That's actually very interesting. I've noted if that's a 9, look what happens to these things. Oh, no, that is it. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Right. This line adds up to 10. Right. Watch this. That's absolutely beautiful, Arbitrary. If this is a 9, so I think this logic's good, isn't it? If I put 9 into any of these segments, this cannot be, each segment cannot add up to 9, because it would have to be 9, 0. So if 9 is in any of those, then this line's segments each add up to 10. Now if 9 is here, watch this. You have to take 9 out of both of those squares, and what does that mean? You might say it doesn't mean very much, but it does. It means something gorgeous, because if you're making 6, 7 or 8 as a total from 3 different Sudoku digits, you will find you have to include a 1 in the sum. Because if you don't, 2, 3 and 4 add up to 9. And if we do include 1 in both of these sums, where is 1 in this box? And the answer is in one of those squares. But that's impossible. Because imagine, we don't know what the total is for this line, but it doesn't matter. Imagine it's 10. Then this would be, and let's say that was the 1 around this quadruple clue. That will be a 1, 9. But now we know that one of these must be 1, 9 as well. Well, which one of these is going to be 1, 9? It can't be either, because 1 and 9 can't go in either of these two squares. Yet 1 must go in one of those squares, and it must have the same sum as this 1, 9 total. It doesn't matter if that's 8. Now one of these is 1, 8, and neither of them can be. Isn't that beautiful? That is really clever. So this is not 9. Now that's only of a limited value, because I don't know where the 9 goes in those 3 squares. I just know it goes in one of them, so I've sort of got that position going on. But I know this line now adds up to 10, which means, because there's a 1 in one of those, there's a 9 in one of those, accompanying the 1 to add to 10. I know those squares add up to 20. Now, that's a little bit interesting. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze. It's getting to that time of year. I think I've resisted it. Oh dear. No. Okay, so look, we can avail ourselves perhaps of a secret here. In fact, I can tell you this is an odd number. I can say that for sure. But we might be able to do better than that, because there is a secret I share with only my very favourite people. If you're watching this video still, you're still definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret is that this whole box of the Sudoku, box 2, and indeed any other box, any other row, any other column, because of the rules of Sudoku, will include the digits 1 to 9 once each. And if you add up the digits 1 to 9 once each, you get 45. 45 is an odd number, but I know that those add up to 20. Therefore, these 5 cells here must add up to 25. But that line segment, let's say it adds up to x. What does this line segment add up to? Well, that must also add up to x. So these 4 cells add up to 2x. Now, 2x is an even number because it's divisible by 2. And therefore, if this is even and those 4 are even, that is odd because 45 is odd. And that can't be 1. So that's 3, 5, 7 or 9. It can't be 1 because I can't make those 2 squares add up to 1. In fact, it can't be 3. Because if that's 3, these would be a 1, 2 pair, and 1 is in one of those. It's very hard for it to be 5. If it's 5, this has to be a 2, 3 pair. No. Well, I mean, if that is a 2, 3 pair, then this has to be 4, 6, 1, 9, doesn't it? Because neither 2, 8 nor 3, 7 could live in these 2 dominoes. Oh, it might not be able to be a 5 for a different reason. Because if that's 5, these 4 squares add up to 20, which means each line segment adds up to 10, and therefore we should be able to colour these by reference to these colours, because these are 4 different dominoes that add up to 10. So these would be yellow and orange dominoes. And that feels like it's not going to work. No, not sure. I don't think that I don't think that's going to be right, but I can't see why not. What about if that's 7? If that's 7, then these squares add up to 18, which means they're 9. Each one adds up to 9 individually. Right, that's not possible. That's not possible. In fact, oh no, then, okay, so the pressure I can see there, if that's 7, and each one of these dominoes adds up to 9, you can't put 9 in them, can you? So 9 has to live in one of these squares in box 2, and 9 can't live in one of these squares, because what will it have to be accompanied by to add up to 10? It'll have to be accompanied by 1. And neither of these can be a 1-9 pair, because one of these is a 1-9 pair, and both Sudoku will rule it out. So that's not 7. Now, then I was thinking I might be able to remove 9 from there using the same logic, but of course that's not true, because 9 has now got a 9 here. Obviously, I then have placed 9 in the box, so it's okay. If that's 9, these add up to 16, which means each one individually adds up to 8. If it's 9, that's not 9. So there's a 1 in one of those squares, which means 1 in this box would be vertical. That would be 2, 3, 4. That would be a 9. Actually, hang on. Do I now know this is a 9? Yeah, I do, don't I? Sorry, this is obvious. I just hadn't thought about it this way. So we deduced this couldn't be a 9 for that beautiful reason to do with these things. But that means 9 is either here, here, or here. Now, if 9 was here, because I know this adds up to 10, this would be a 1-9 pair, and neither of these could be a 1-9 pair, and that doesn't work. And if that's a 9, I've got the same problem. This is a horizontal domino, so whichever one of these is 1-9 would see it. And this would be a 1-9 pair, and that doesn't work. So that's 9, that's 1, and there's 2 free digits that I just hadn't totally missed. So now... now Maverick's taken off, and I don't know actually. Does that not do anything? That's weird. Okay, sorry. That when I saw that, I thought that was definitely going to be useful. Maverick really is flying past at a low level today. What were we thinking about? We were thinking about if that was... so if that's 9, then 9 is in... Well, 9's not on a 3-cell arrow or 3-cell sum that's adding up to a single number. So if that is 9, 9 is in one of those 2 squares. Oh. Well, that doesn't work, does it? Oh, no. I don't think it can be here. It can't be... Yeah, it can't be there. So in fact, if this is 9, you have to put 9 there. The reason it can't go here is then this line segment is adding up to at least 10, which means these are adding up to at least 10 each, which means those 8 cells add up to 40 at least. And 40 plus 9 is 49, and 49 is greater than 45, which is the sum of all the digits in box 2. There is a knowledge bomb. So in fact, if that is 9, that is 9. Now, I don't know what that means. The sum, okay, is it something to do with 9s in this section? Because the sum of the digits in this section we worked out couldn't be 11 because the 1 in one of those 4 squares doesn't have a partner. So it's either 9 or 10 for each segment here. And if 9 is in one of these squares, then it's 10 and it collapses to being the same colours as this top bit. But if it was, yeah, so maybe my first thought's right. So my first thought was this, and this might be wrong, so forgive me if it is. I was going to say, can you ever have a 9 in one of those? I think the answer's no, isn't it? Because if any one cell there was a 9, given that we know the total then for this would be 10, because it couldn't be 9 anymore, this would be a 9-1 pair in one of those squares, but the one in there would say that had a 1-9 pair in it. That doesn't work. So 9 in this box is actually in one of those 4 squares. But didn't we work out? We worked out that we can't have 2. Okay. One of these line thingies here, one of those is a 9. Because if they were both from 6, 7 and 8, we worked out that failed because that put a 1 in here, which we couldn't have. So one of these is a 9, and thereby is a 2, 3, 4 triple, so that it doesn't have a 1 on its line. So whichever one of these is 9 is going to knock 9. So 9 isn't in the corner. That's the first thing we can say, because one of these is a 9. So either there's a 9 here. The thing is, that line is not very constrained. It's 2 cells versus 2 cells. Or there's a 9 here. So if that's 9, then that's 9. One of these is 9. And then by sudoku, one of these would be a 1-9 pair. Sorry, I can't see why that's a problem, or which makes me think it probably isn't a problem. I have a feeling where we're going to end up is that these colours are going to be the same as these colours. I just can't quite see how to prove it. If that's... What's the alternative? This is 5. I don't see if that's 5. Then, well, if that's 5, these add up to 20, don't they? So then we have to colour these by reference to these. I don't really like that idea either. I'm not sure now. I have a strong view about which, because if this is, hang on, if that's 9, how did that work? That was going to make this a 9. Yeah, so if that's 9, these add up to 10 each, and if it's 5, these add up to 10 each. So either way, we're going to be able to propagate the colours that exist in the top right of the grid. What's the total for this one? If that was... it was 16, wasn't it? So these become 8s. If these each add up to 8, then I can't put 8. I can't put 8 on these lines, so 8 would be here. There would be a 2, 8 in one of those. And then I couldn't put 6 on this line, so I'd have to put 6 here. So this would be 3, 7. That's really interesting. It's really interesting. So what I'm saying here is if this is 9, because those cells now add up to 29, these add up to 16, halve it, that gives us 8. So this domino adds up to 8, this domino adds up to 8. But the effect of that is it has loads of implications, because now I can't put 8 in any of these 4 squares. So in the box, 8 goes here on a domino that sums to 10. So 8 and 2 are in one of these dominoes. But once 8 and 2 are in these dominoes, you can't put 2 in there, which means you can't put 6 in there, because 6 would be a partner for 2 on a domino that added up to 8. And that means 6 has to be down here with 4, meaning this is 3, 7. And this would be, one of these would be 1, 7, one of these would be 3, 5. And that would also be 1, 7. Oh, goodness me, that's filthy. Right, okay, that doesn't work. That's really difficult. Wow. Let me just see if I can see this a different way. Well, I'm not seeing quickly how to see it a different way. Let me explain what I have seen. So the point was, if this is 9, we know each of these dominoes adds up to 8, and so does this one. And that one's interesting because this 9 knocks 9 out of here. But we worked out that one of those two had to be a 9 to stop there being a problem with 1 in box 7. Now, so this has become 9. And it doesn't have a 1 on its segment here, because if it had a 1 here, there'd be a 1 there, and again, 1 would be here, and that would break the world. So, this is 2, 3, 4. But remember, this segment adds up to 8. Well, what is it then? It's not 2, 6, or 3, 5. It's 1, 7. But it can't be 1, 7. Or can it? Ah, have I missed a possibility here? No, I haven't missed a possibility. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work, because we'd have to do that. Yeah. I mean, you have to go through quite a lot of thinking, because it's still necessary here to realise that you can't put 2 in this, because if this could be 2, 6 and 3, 5, there's no problem. But it can't be. It can't be, because 8 has to be down here with 2, and that means 6 can't be up here. So this contains 2 and 6, and the only ways of making this work, one of these has to be 1, 7, and neither can be. This can't be 1, 7 for a sudoku-y reason. Well, they're both sudoku-y reasons, but sort of arising from different things. That's really weird. That is very, very, very interesting. And like, it's magical in a way, the way you could trace it round the grid. So this is not 9, that's 5. Right, so this is huge. So that's 2, 3. This is 4, 6. So we're going to get all sorts of things happening now. These squares are now known. They're 5, 7, 8. But much. Well. Right, so now these 4 squares add up to 20. So these dominoes here are yellow and orange. One of them is yellow, one of them is orange. So I suppose what we could do is just label them up. These are 2, 3, 7, 8 in some order. We might be about to get interrupted by children's children's stuff. So what's this then? This is not green, is it? So this is, but we don't know what green is. And I still don't know which of these is 9. What? Oh, I felt I made that's such a big breakthrough up here. And now I don't know where that's leading me. What about this? Okay, this is from 2, 3, 7, 8, isn't it? It can't be 4, 6, it can't be 1, 9 by Sudoku. So that's either green or grey. So is there a reason that can't? If that's 2, 3, 4, this is 1, 9. Oh, it's the same. It's the same thing. This is very hard to see. I don't know why, but I'm having a lot of difficulty with these two squares and the way this works. Yeah, it's the same. If that's 9, this is 2, 3, 4. Because we know there has to be a 2, 3, 4 here or here. So let's say it's here, for the sake of exposition. What's this now? It's a domino that adds to 10. So it has to be 1, 9. But now this has to be 9. This has to be 1. And which one of these is a 1, 9 pair? Neither can be. 1 sees this one. So this can't be 1, 9, and 9 and 1 see that one. That's weird, isn't it? It's absolutely bizarre. So this is not 9. It just can't be. Oh, no, that's not even true. You know that's not true. I've got to be very careful with that. I think that might be able to be 9. But what it can't be, if it is 9, it's not 2, 3, 4. And one of these strings has to be 2, 3, 4. So now we know it's this one. So that's 2, 3, 4. This is 9. Then, well, there now is a 1 on this line, because if this was also 2, 3, 4, we'd have to put 2, 3, and 4 into these squares. And we know that the sum for this is either 9 or 10, and no two of those digits, 2, 3, and 4, can sum to 9 or 10. So these can't include those 3 digits. So this is 2, 3, 4. This has got 1 on it. Okay, yes. So where is 1 in this box? It can't be in there. It must be in here. Oh, 9 is not in here. So 9 is... okay, so I have got rid of 9 from here now. 9 is vertical in box 7. So this is 6, 7, or 8. Now we might be able to play similar tricks here. Because we can force this domino, can't we? I mean, for example, if that was 6 and this was 1, 2, 3, this would have to be a 4, 6 pair. And that would mean this was 1, 9. It would mean that doesn't work. There we go. That doesn't work either. It's the same sort of weird reason. If this is 6 and this is 1, 2, 3, this has to be 4, 6. And now look, I've got a 4, 6 pair in those two squares. So whatever this is, we know either this domino or this domino is 4, 6. It can't be that one anymore, and it can't be this one because it sees a 4, 6 pair. So we can iterate basically on it's the same point that's arising each time on this 9. So this is now 7 or 8. Now, can we get rid of 7? If this is 1, 2, 4, which is the only way 7 could be constituted, on this line, this would have to be 3, 7. Oh, which would have to be 3 there and 7 here, because there's a 2, 3 pair I've not noticed. I can't see what's wrong with that straight off the bat. But now, actually, that's got me thinking about this. Isn't it true to say, therefore, that this is grey, isn't it? This is a grey domino. Because we've worked out it can't be 4, 6, and we've worked out it can't be 1, 9. So it's either 2, 8 or 3, 7. And whatever it is, it's not green, so it's grey. Good grief. So this is 2, 3, 7, 8. This top digit is not 2 or 3 by Sudoku, so the bottom digit is 2 or 3. That's very annoying. I can't see what to do with that. Oh, right. Okay, look, I've got a 4, 6 pair here. That's not a 4. Now I've got a 2, 3 pair in column 8. So that's not 2 or 3. So this is 2 or 3. I've now got a 2, 3 pair. Oh, good grief. I've got a 2, 3 pair in column 7. I mean, outrageous, arbitrary, making me do Sudoku a mere 41 minutes into a video. Just ridiculous. Right, these squares now, I'm almost going to pencil mark them. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Although, look, no, I don't know. I thought maybe that one might be about to shed some light on a complicated subject. But alas, I still think I'm in the dark ages here. What about if 3 is up there? Is that useful? If that's grey, then this would be grey. Well, no, that's not the way logic works, Simon. If that's 3, 7, that's 3, 7 is a more technically correct way of speaking. That would mean this would be 1, 2, 5. There must... no. Well, yes. That digit is a 2 or a 3. It can't be a 1. I think that logic's good. So what I'm seeing there is, if we think about the way a 3-cell sum adding up to 7 or 8 works, you're going to have a 1 in the sum, and then you're going to have 2, 4 in the case of 7. In the case of 8, you're going to have either 3, 4 or 2, 5. But the point is, you always need a cell on this line here that is a 2 or a 3. You can't do without it, because 1, 4, 5 adds up to 10. So one of these digits is a 2 or a 3. Now, it's not this one by Sudoku. It's also not this one by Sudoku, just more complicated Sudoku, because there's a 2, 3 here, and there's a 2 or a 3 in this domino, so there's a sort of a floating 2, 3 pair in those 3 squares. That cannot be a 2 or a 3, so this must be a 2 or a 3, I think. And now there's a different floating 2, 3 pair. Oh, Bobbins face, I don't know. Well, okay, now I'm going to avail myself of simple Sudoku, because I know there's a 1 on this line, there's a 1 in the corner. Now, this domino is not 1, 9, so that's 4, 6, which is orange. This must be yellow, and is 1, 9, and I know the order. So it's almost like this deadly pattern's been unwound. 9 has got to go there in box 1. That's not 5, look. So this digit now is either 4, if this is 7, or if this is 8, it could be a 5 as well, with a 2 here. Right, sorry, I know I've stopped speaking. I'm just trying to spot what this means. I don't know. 4, 5, 6. I know there's a 6 in one of those. Does that help with the world? Alas, no. I've got a 7, 8 pair in row 4. So that means... what does that mean? So if this... sorry, I realise I keep clamming up, so I can't see what to do. I still can't really believe I haven't worked out what's going on down there. Well, I can now, can't I? Hang on. There's no 1 in these squares. Now, yeah, I can now see what's going on down here. Right, this has probably been available for ages. We worked out that there had to be 4 different ways of making the total for this line. And we worked out it couldn't be adding up to 11 each segment because we know that 1 is on the line and 1 can't be accompanied with a 10. But now, if this had the same constitution as these squares, one of these pairs would have to be a 1, 9 pair. Well, which one is it? 1 and 9 can't go in those squares. Can't. Well, according to my pencil marks, they can't anyway. And neither of these can be a 1, 9 pair because we can't put 9 in these squares. So this congregation of digits are segments adding up to 9, which means 8 must be in one of those squares to accompany the 1 that lives in one of these squares. Oh no, it doesn't do anything. It's going to be something to do with... well, what about if that was 2, 7? If that was 2, 7, this domino would then have to be 3, 6, because it couldn't... oh no, that's not true. Sorry, because I'm now adding this one up to 9 as well. This one adds up to 10. Ah, all right. If this was 3, 7, then that would have to be 4, 5, because it couldn't be 3, 6 or 2. It couldn't be 3, 6 or 2, 7 or 1, 8. But if this was 2, 8, that doesn't do as much. It knocks this out from being 2, 7. I'm not thinking very well about this. I know I'm not. I can feel that my brain is being recalcitrant. Okay, here's a small point which I will make use of. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. How many of those digits live in this quadruple? And the answer is only 1. Because if we put 2 in, given that we know one of these pairs is 1, 8, those 2 that we put in would have to be in the same domino, and they can't add up to 9. So that's not right. So that means one of these goes in here. None of them go in here, so 2 of them go in there. So these 2 squares are from 2, 3, and 4. So one of these digits is from 2, 3, and 4 as well. So these are from 2, 3, 4, and 9, because we can't put we can't put these 3 digits in there. So it looks like there's something trying to shout at us, doesn't it, in column 1, or perhaps in column 6. Do I know this is 3, 7 somehow? If that's 3, 7, what else happens as a result? That becomes 3, 7. So this becomes No, I don't even know, do I? If that's 3, 7. I don't know. I don't actually know how much we get from that. If that's got 3 in it, then that is definitely not 3, 7. That would be 2, 8. That would be 7. Hang on. If that's got 3 in it, this is definitely 2, 8. I'm not saying that that's grey or green, I'm just saying that's 2, 8. And if that's 2, 8, this is 7. So this becomes 2, 4. This becomes 3, 7. So this becomes 3, 7. But I started this by saying there was a 3 in one of these. So there'd be 2 3s in one of these. So they would either be like that or like that. So there'd be no 3 down here. 3 would be in there, along with, what, 6, I suppose. I don't know. That seems very plausible, to be honest. So we're going to have to think harder. Where on earth is it that I'm meant to... That's green. Maybe it's colouring. Because this is definitely grey, so that's definitely green. Does that help us? So green, the green digit is in one of those squares, but by Sudoku. It's nearly interesting. No, that doesn't work. I thought I had an idea then, but no, I don't like that idea, so I'm abandoning that mid idea. Where is 1 and 6 have to be in those squares, don't they? In this column. That's just Sudoku. Now, does that matter then? So that might matter for this domino. This domino is adding up to 9, according to my calculation. So it's not 3, 6, it's not 1, 8. So it's either 2, 7 or 4, 5. How do we resolve that? I don't know. Golly, I haven't got a clue what to do. We could... Do I know what this domino is? I suppose I do know that that domino there is either a red or a purple domino. Maybe there's a reason it can't be 1, 8. If it's 1, 8, that would be 7. Oh dear, sorry if this is obvious to everybody. It could be obvious. No, I don't know there's a 3. I was wondering if I could do something, you know, there was sort of a 3 in that and a 3 in that would knock 3 out of here. Thing is, even if that's 2, I still don't know what this is. At least I don't think I do. There's no way I can... Is there a reason? Like, is there a reason I know this isn't green, for example. No, I don't think there is. If this is green and green is 2, 8, then these have to add up to 6, but they can be 1, 5. And if this is grey, maybe it works differently then, and say that was 2 and that was 7. That's fine. That would be 4. Oh, there's somebody at the door. That's. Hang on, I'm going to have to just, I will keep trying to do the puzzle, I just need to listen, because I might have to go downstairs. It should be alright, I think. Right, let's keep going. Alright, where is 9 in box 4? Maybe it's more sudoku-y. I know I can't put 9 in this domino, because this domino adds up to 9. Where is 9 in the center? Oh, no, that's useless. 9 in one of 3 positions. Where is 9 in this box? I have no idea. What about... Yeah, I have got a 2, 3 and a 4, 6 pair in column 8. Is that helpful? 4 has to be in one of 3 positions in box 6. I know that these dominoes they're either 2, 7, 3, 6 or 4, 5. Is there a way that I can determine which of those is likely? I just don't know. This is baffling, actually. I've really come to a grinding halt here. And I'm very unsure where the weak spot is. Oh, goodness, I don't know. I don't know. I can't... I feel I'm being really... I feel slightly terrified by that earlier deduction where we concluded something about this line. That was really quite complicated. I've got 1, 2 and 3 as a triple. Is that somehow telling me something? What about... I don't think it is. I still think this is really confusing. Ah! Let's come back. Let's think about this again. So if 3 has loads of options, including, don't forget, there could be 2 3s in this sequence. If 3 is in the lower part of it, that becomes a 2. That becomes 8. So that becomes 7. That becomes 2. So these would be the same digit. This would be a green domino. That would become a grey domino. So this would become 3, 7. Yeah, this is... Yeah, okay. And if 3 is up here... Oh, hang on, that's always 2. Oh, that's weird. Right, okay, that's actually a bit simpler than I was worried about. Okay, so I think this might be wrong. But if the 3 is here, I'm going to do this again slowly. Imagine this was a 3. Then this is a 2, isn't it? Which means this is an 8 by the logic of this line. And that's a 7. And if that's a 7, that's a 2. So that's one possibility that's sort of simmering in the background. The other possibility is there's a 3 in one of those. And if that's true, that's still a 2. So this is always a 2. And now that's always a 3. And that's always a 7. So grey we could have worked out. Or I could have worked out if I thought about it in a different way. Grey is 3, 7. This is 2, 8. Don't tell me this doesn't do anything. I have a horrible feeling. No, don't be nasty. That's an 8 in the corner. That's 5, that's 7. So that square, weirdly, is 4, 5, or 6, I think. And I'm pausing because I'm hoping some sort of light is going to help me. Oh no! What? So these squares are from 4, 6, and 8, I want to say. This is bizarre. This is bizarre. Have I not used one of the quadruple clues somehow? I think I have used them. Okay. That's good, but not good. Oh, hang on. That's taken 2 out of those. Is that doing something? Do I now know 2 lives in those? Oh, I do. Yes, that's good. Okay, so I now know 2 lives in this congregation of digits, which means 7 lives in these and I know where. Oh, that's great. Yeah, isn't this beautiful? Good grief. So because I now know 2 lives in there, and I know the dominoes on this one add up to 9, that means 7 lives in here. By Sudoku, it's actually telling me where it goes. That could be big. That's a 2-7 combination. So 2 is in one of these cells by Sudoku. It can't be there. So now I've got a 2-9 pair in box 4. Can't go there because this would be 7 again. So I've got a 2-9 pair that I've earned the hard way in box 4. Okay, is that good? Yeah, that is good. Because now I can look at the light green colour, and that isn't 3-6, is it? So the 3-6 must be over on this side of the world. So this is 3-6 and 1-8. Oh, hang on, I need to do this a bit more sensibly than that. So 8 is in one of these, 1 is in one of these, and 3 and 6 are in any combination thereof. But that means this is 4-5, because that's the other way of making a domino add up to the right number. So that's not 4. And if 4-5 is here, this is 3-9 now. And if this is 3-9, well, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But it does mean that these digits at the bottom of the grid are 1, 6, and 8. And I'm going to put that in the hope it sheds some sort of light on the world, which it doesn't appear at first blush to want to. Right, these squares are now 5 and 7, which might be doing something. 3 is in one of those, so this is now a 2-4 pair. That's good. So that gives me a 2-8 up here, resolved. 8 is in one of these squares by Sudoku using the 8 pencil mark I've got there. 2. Oh, 2 is in one of those 3 squares. I think it's probably going to be on here. Is there a reason this can't be 4-5? If this was 4-5, that would be 6. This would be 7. This was 4-5. This would be 2. I don't know. I'm not sure. There might be a technical reason that doesn't work, but I can't see what it is. Okay, let's try something else. Gosh, I've tripped over an hour now. This is definitely challenging, I think, this puzzle. Right, let's look at this situation, because I know that from the colouring, this is either a 3-6 or a 1-8 combination, and that digit's not 3, so that digit's not 6. So I've sort of got a 1-6-8 triple in column 3. And this domino adds up to 12, which means this domino adds up to 12, which means it can't be 3-9, because this digit could be neither 3 or 9, so that's either 4-8 or 5-7. And I bet you there's, well, yeah, that's done it. Okay, because this digit, whatever it is very high. It's 7 or 8. And then whatever this is, its other very high digit must go in this congregation of digits to get us up to 12 within these two digits. So there is a sort of floating 7-8 pair within those three squares, and that means 8-1 is not possible on this domino. So this domino is 6-3. There we go. That gives me an 8 here. Which means that square is now 1 by sudoku. I really hope that does more. That's now not a 6. That's now not a 6. 1 has only got one position left to go. Okay. And now whichever one of 4 and 5 is not used on this domino, that has to be there, doesn't it? To find a home in this box. And that gives me a 4-5 pair in this column, which means that square is not 4 or 5, which means this square now is the 4-5. So I've now got a 4-5 pair in row 5, which means, oh, that's beautiful. Good grief. So this is now not 4-5, this is 2-7, which is blue for our colouring, which means that's 5 at the bottom of the grid. That's 7. That's 7. That's 3. That's good. Look what that's doing. Now this is a 1-6 pair, which means these two squares must be 8 and 3. Let's put that in. 1-6 resolves the top of the grid with a 6-4 pair. I should be able to get that digit. That's a 4 by sudoku. No, that doesn't do anything. 4, oh, no, it does a bit. There's a 4 here now in box thingy thing, box 6 being the technical term. These squares are now known. They are 8, 9 and 5. These squares are 1, 6 and something, which we have to deduce 3. So that's not, this is a 1. C's a 3-6 pair. There's a 7-8 pair here, so that's not 8. There's a 4-5 pair here, so that's not 5. That's not 5. There's a I don't know. There's going to be something else, isn't there? Something else that we've got to spot. No, that's not it. Oh, but this is getting exciting. This is getting exciting. We're nearly there, aren't we? How do we... Phone's buzzing. That's okay. That's not important. How do we resolve this? I think I've used all my quadruple clues. All of these dominoes are going to be needed. The way we're going to resolve those is by something going on in box 9. So it could be this thing here. Although that's a fairly terrifying prospect. 1 is in one of those squares, I've just noticed. Do I? I don't know. What about... okay, here is a very simple question that's probably been obvious to everybody for a while, but I've only just seen it. Where can 9 go in row 6? It can't go there, because this segment then would add up to at least 9 plus 4 plus 5, which is 18, and I can't make a domino add up to 18 down here. So in fact, I think 9 goes there, which means that's 8, that's 5. Phone's buzzing again, not important. That's no longer 8. Oh, no, I suddenly thought that was seeing that, but it's most certainly not. So what do I need in this row? I need 2, 5, 7. So this is 2, 5. No, it's not 2. That's 5, 7 or 8. It sees 2, there's 2, 3 pair in column 8. So this segment is quite large. It's got to have 5 in it. If this was 7, 8 and 4, that would again add up to 19. You can't make that add up to 19, so one of those is 5. Which I now see I could have got from Sudoku, but never mind. Alright, so this is quite big, because it's either 4 plus 5 plus 7, which is 16. So this is at least 16, so there's definitely a 9 on this. That's huge. There's got to be a 9 on this domino. And that's doing something along here. So that's 9, that's 3. That's 3, that's 8. Oh, that's done it. That's done it. But I said that's done it. That is not the same as Alexa. Alexa off. I don't understand how that can possibly be interpreted as that name. Anyway, this now can't add up to 17 because there's an 8 here. So it must actually be a 7-9 pair. That's the most it can be, and the order is known. So that's 9, that's 7. That's not 7. That's not 7. That's a 7. So that's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 4. That's a 4. That's a 5. Here we go. Right, this is a 1 or a 6 somehow, not resolved, of course. Oh, we know what these are now, though, don't we? We need a 7 here, because if it's 5, 8, it adds up to too many. So that's got to be the 7. That's got to be the 5. There, finally. Okay, this was green. If that's been available for ages, I apologise. I didn't see a way of figuring it out. That's now 7, so that's 4. That's 6, that's 5. That's 6, that's 4. That's 2, that's 3. Good grief. That's 6 by Sudoku. That seems to have to be 8. Right, this is I think we're there now, aren't we? That's 2, that's 9. This is 3, or that's 3, because it can't be 6. That's 6, that's 3. That's 8. So that's 4, because remember this had to add up to 12 to match this off. So that's 5, that's 8, that's 6. Right, that's 3. Oh no, it didn't get a 3 in the corner. It went the other way. This is 1 and 9, which is resolved. See, it seems like the digits are moving. When I put that in, I'm just going to do that again. Feels like, look, that whole see the row moves. The row of digits is moving. I swear it is. Isn't that strange? Oh, some new feature that Sven's built into the software. That's a 5. Oh, look. We're going to get a 1-6 deadly pattern. But it's not deadly pattern because this is going to resolve it, because we know that this thing adds up to 9. So we've got to do that way round, which puts it that way round. We put the 7 and the 2 in. That is a brilliant puzzle. That is a brilliant puzzle. Thank goodness for that. That was hard. It's been around for nearly a month. 50 people have solved it. Really, really quality stuff. The beginning of that is absolutely incredible. The idea that this couldn't be 9 because it would stop both of those being 9 and lock a 1 in there, which would counteract this one quadruple clue. I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. And there may have been a way that I was meant to know that this was that colour. I think that would have helped me, because I floundered around trying to see what this 3 was doing, and in the end, I think we worked out that had to be a 2, and that helped. Yeah, and there was another point earlier on that was something to do with that digit and getting that digit. That was very complicated as well. Yeah, it's a brilliant puzzle. Arbitrary. Take a bow indeed. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.